Wow, 1 second. Can you guys see me? Because for me it's just a black screen.
Who's talking, by the way, guys?
Yo, Steph, can you see me?
I can see you, but you're not moving. You're just frozen.
Huh?
Yeah, we can see you, but I don't think you can see us.
Josh, you're more statuesque than the Man City defence on Saturday.
Right, let me just big up the intro quickly, yeah? Big up, guys. Welcome back to the TG podcast. We're here. Let me just big up everyone. Yeah, welcome back. Obviously, a much positive, feeling a lot more better with Arsenal in terms of, getting a great win on the weekend, Saturday, 3-0 against Forest. Very, very happy, and obviously we move Sporting Lisbon tomorrow night. We're going to go all through that, people. Let's just big up Seb, Rory, how you guys doing? Dom, big up yourself. How you guys doing, man?
Very good, thank you, yeah.
I was all good until Mikel Arteta went on too long and I had to make my own lunchbox. I make my own lunch.
Those tactics about winning a title and winning the Champions League.
Oh,
right,
please,
you guys can go on. Yeah, I'm gonna come back
yeah,
and come back out.
2 minutes into the bloody podcast.
Oh, Timmy.
He's had enough already, and we're 2 minutes in.
Classic start, isn't it? Classic start. Shall I quickly host for a few seconds while we wait for
go on then.
wait for Josh to return, because it could be sometime between now and the Sporting game. We come to you then, Rory. What were your thoughts on the Forest game at the weekend, which I'm sure was going to be his first question?
Well, yeah, obviously much better performance than what we have seen over recent weeks, and he's back.
Great, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can see you. Can you see us?
I can't. Well, I can't, but I can hear you. That's amazing.
It's your turn to
no
win.
disrespect, lads. But as long as I can hear you, then that's
a horror movie experience as well.
But you guys can hear and see me, yeah?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah,
but I don't think you can see us.
No, I can't.
Which is probably an improvement for you.
Yes, nah. But listen, big up, guys, every single time, man. Hey, listen, for the first time also on this pod, yeah, I want to welcome a new guest, yeah. This guy, you may recognize in the chat, all the way from NYC. I mean, he was here, now he's just gone, which is quite mad.
Oh.
He's literally waiting back. No, he's here. My brother, hopefully he can hear us. No, now he's gone again. I'm not even joking, guys. I'm not taking the piss of it. He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. He keeps coming in and out backstage. He's having technical difficulties. When he comes, I'll introduce him, guys. Yeah? But anyway,
is he at McDonald's?
Yeah, the McDonald's Wi-Fi. You know how it is, man. You know how it is, right? Let's see. Cooper. Yes, Cooper. Are you there, my friend? No. You guys hear him? I can't.
No.
He sounds like Darth Vader at the moment. Mind you, if he's coming in from NYC, my New York Giants could do with Darth Vader and a bit of the Force because we are absolutely shocking.
He's having technical difficulties, guys. I'm sure he'll join us soon. But if you guys recognize Cooper in the chat, he'll be joining us when he, gets sorted. But guys, let's just get into it, man. Listen, let's talk about Nottingham Forest 3-0 win. For me, I said it, probably best performance so far this season. I was, watching the game, watching the way I was popping the ball around. I was like, where's this been all season, Arsenal, man? Because we played very, very good against a very good Nottingham Forest side as well. This same Nottingham Forest side that actually were the only teams to beat Liverpool this season in all competitions. So, and they went Anfield as well and did them 1-0. So there was a very, very good side. Nuno doing some great things with them. Players like Chris Wood, who's actually on the bench as well, funny, against us. He was firing though this season. I was thinking it's going to be a very tough game, but we played very well, man. Definitely one of the best performances so far this season. 3-0 win, clean sheet. I don't think Ray had that much to do really for being real with it. I thought, we really turned up on the day defensively as well. I thought that was one of the best I've seen Calafiori play. Lots of question marks about him defensively, but I thought he was rock solid, man, defensively against Forest. And yeah, obviously, I'm sure we'll talk about Wanyeri separately, I think, but fantastic to see him off the bench and scoring. But yeah, I've said all I've got to say when I did my match review, guys. I'll stop yapping. Let me go to. I'll come to the man like Domination first, yeah. Big up to the man like Dom, yeah. Dom, talk to me about that game, man. 3-0 win. How you feeling over it overall, bro?
Yeah, win cures all ills, right? Obviously got to follow it up, and I'm sure we'll discuss that. But yeah, like you say,
I've said all I've got to say when I did my match review, guys.
Oh, here's Cooper.
Cooper!
Hey, what's up, brother?
I'll come to the man like Domination first time, man, on the channel. How's it going?
It's good, man. It's good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Guys, I've watched you all before. Just want to say, big up to Josh. Respect you guys. Thanks for having me, bro.
No, anytime, bro. You're welcome anytime, man. Welcome, bro. Welcome. Of course, over there in the States. Big up the States every single time, man. It's a pleasure to have you, bro. But yeah, we just started with the Nottingham Forest game. I'll just, Dom, if you want to continue, man, and I'll come to you, Cooper, after, bro.
Yeah, I'll go quick because definitely should come to Cooper as his first time, and welcome, my friend. Like I say, win cures all ills. The word I think I'd sum this performance up with was control. I spoke in a preview that it was really important that Arsenal were getting players back, and Arteta spoke after the game about the importance of having all those players in training and how it improved the intensity. And I think we saw that on Saturday. Surprised all with the lineup. I think if anyone predicted that lineup, they either were Mikel Arteta or his coaching staff, or they were a liar, right? I mean, no one saw it coming. But I think that's what you want to see, right? You want to see a couple of changes and the squad go out and give a performance like that. Saka, Odegaard, fantastic. Their telepathy is really, really good. Thought Timber slotted in really well and worked really well with them as well. I thought Jorginho, despite the yellow card, had a decent enough game with Moreno in midfield. Nothing fancy, but nice and controlled. And better from Trossard. I mean, just all round, I don't think you can really fault the performance at all. And it's a performance we've been asking for a while. And it's funny how you get your players back and you can turn it on. And what needs to happen now is momentum. They need the momentum now to carry this forward and get themselves on a bit of a run. And I think if they do that, with Liverpool's more difficult run coming up, I'd expect that gap to be much closer come Christmas. But definitely a lot of positives. And I can't wait to discuss Wanyeri later because I thought that was a great 10 minutes from him too.
Yeah, no, very well said, man. Very well said, Dom, as always. Listen, I'll come to, Cooper. Big up yourself every single time, man. I said it for me, that performance, what we've been missing this whole entire season, man. It actually looked like the Arsenal we all know. Probably the best performance we've had so far this season. Kind of like where it's been all season with the football that we played. Obviously against a very good Nottingham Forest side. But what do you make of it overall, Cooper, bro?
It's I was in and out. I had to take Eve to the swim lesson, so I watched the replay today. And it was Eve's my daughter, fellas. So it was great to watch them. It's like where's this been all year? It's like we took Havertz out, right? And then we weren't, kicking the ball all the way to Havertz all the time. You know what I mean? So I think, we took our time. We built from the back. I think Jorginho in the midfield was like perfect. He was able to calm us down and, get us moving and they look dangerous up front. I mean, I'm not going to lie, Saka's, the man amazes me. You know what I mean? And I was so happy for, the general party, Thomas Partey with that goal. I think he's been our best midfielder all year, hands down. I don't know what Arteta's thinking about playing Rice in the 8. Drives me insane. And then, I know you're going to talk about Anwar 1 year later. I mean, the kid's just class. Every time he comes on, there's a spark. There's an energy, there's excitement. And I think that's what we all became fans for, right? You want to see that stuff.
Yeah, no, 100% Cooper. I think you made some great points, obviously, with Partey as well. I just think, what definitely the best midfielder for Arsenal this season. Even, Mount was benched as well. As Don rightly said about the lineup, going into it, I'll be real, I was cussing it. Yeah, I was cussing the lineup in the build-up.
I was like, when I saw it I was like, what the is he thinking?
Yeah, but listen, it worked out.
It worked
in the end. It did, and that's the main thing. Credit where credit's due. We can, criticize, but give credit where credit's due as well.
And the crazy thing is Jesus, he did his thing. But can you imagine a guy like, Gyökeres leading that line with those chances? I mean, the guy doesn't, he kicks through the barn. You know what I mean? It's
Jesus bad and needs a goal, right?
he needs to lead. I mean, I think he's done what he can. But he's not, Havertz and him are not the answer to leading the line. I mean, we need a proven goal scorer. And as Arsenal fans, we've all seen how many times we spent twice, 3 times instead of just getting the right person. I mean, I'm a lot older than you guys, so it's I'm a strong believer in, you go.
You're probably not much older than me, mate. I'm older than I look.
I'm 50.
I'm 40.
Oh, 40. All right.
All right. We're a bit closer.
All right. Good. Now I feel better. But it's and I'll tell you guys, like, personally, like I've only been able to watch soccer in the States since 2012. We watched like the World Cup. So probably like 2013, 2014, you could actually start watching the Prem. When I was a little boy in the 80s, ESPN in the States, they would play one English game, league game a week. And my little brother Ryan and I, we would wake up and it was at 11:30 at night on Saturdays. And I picked Arsenal and he picked Liverpool.
Wow.
So, and then, but after, starting to watch it, I don't know what other sports are like there, but people ask me why I started watching Arsenal, and I said, it was the first team that I picked for myself. In the States, my dad's a New York Giants fan. We're Celtics fans. We're
Giants are rubbish, mate. But I'm a Giants fan too.
They're complete shit. But you know what I mean. It's
you're being too polite,
but I've seen them win 4 championships in my life. I'm still waiting for Arsenal. Arsenal's the only one I care about. You know what I mean? And I feel like we take 10 steps forward, and then the Cronkies were like, "Hey, man, let's get this guy Gyökeres. Like, let's pay the $80 million in January. Do the right thing, because you know what? They're saying 60 in the summer. Anybody can go higher than that release clause and get them. So you're probably going to end up paying 80 anyways for them. So you do it in January. You know.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to.
No, bro. You say how it is, man. You know, big up, bless up coming on as well. You know, it feels good to finally get you on the channel, make your debut, bro. And hopefully we can, get you on quite a bit as well, man. You know, in the future.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah, bless up as always, my guy. But I want to come to Seb. I'll come to you, bro. Was you at the game on the weekend or not?
Fortunately, I was. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
good.
you was. Oh, nice.
Unfortunately.
Fortunately, yeah.
Fortunately, yeah.
Oh, what is still unfortunately?
No, fortunately, no. Of course, I want to always want good.
But what'd you make of that, bro? 3-0 win. I thought, very good performance.
Yes, I thought they did very well. I thought that is a poor performance that we needed after this bad run, and we really needed that. And yes, it was more important to just get the result, but it was also good to see an actual performance and one that we can actually build on and take momentum from this, because Nottingham Forest this season have been a good side. As you said, they went to Anfield and won. They went to Stamford Bridge and got a draw. And they were currently level on points with us at that time. Obviously not now, but has he gone again? But yeah, very, very happy with that. And it just showed in that game how much we missed Odegaard because of the difference he made with some of his creativities and some of his balls he played was just brilliant to watch. And we've really, really missed that in the last few months. And hopefully that is the spark we need to help us push on, because this is a good result. But now, like Dom said, we've got to kick on. We need momentum, and it has to continue at West Ham next week, Sporting Lisbon tomorrow, West Ham next week, Man United and Fulham coming up, and we have actually got some winnable games coming up our way. So this is the time where we really, really need some momentum, because Liverpool are now unfortunately won again, so they're 9 points clear, and we're only 1 point behind City. So it is still doable, but it's only going to happen if we start a run and kick on momentum. But from the weekend, that is a result that we really need, and a performance as well, and it's good for a clean sheet as well, because we needed that as well, because we haven't had that since the North London derby, not that. So that's also.
Has it been that long, Seb?
Yeah, since a clean sheet in the league. Yeah.
Well, in all competitions, it was Shakhtar, I believe, in the Champions League.
Yeah, but in the Premier League, yeah.
Yeah, in the Prem.
But still, that is a very good result. Can't complain with that. Yes, the lineup was a bit questionable, but to be fair, to some extent, I did understand it a little bit, because I know Rice was struggling with his toe, and there were rumours before the game that he wasn't going to be part of the squad, and he was actually on the bench. So that didn't surprise me. However, it did shock me when you put Partey on the bench and Havertz on the bench. But to be fair, big up to Jorginho. I thought he had a good game, and the subs he got them absolutely right, and then bringing Waneri on and getting that goal. The guy's a talent, and I do actually agree with the idea that we need to bed him in carefully, and we can't rush this guy. Yes, of course, we did throw in Cesc Fabregas to the deep end. Barcelona have done it with Yamal. Man City have done it with Foden, and it's worked. So there is also an argument to that, but I'm more silent to the fact that we didn't buy one in the summer when we really should have, especially if we're letting Smith Rowe go. But yeah, I guess that's in the past now. We can't change that. But and hopefully we won't be talking about that again come in the upcoming games, because I've just about had enough of that chat. But yeah, hopefully not. But this is a positive. It's a positive reaction and a positive so far for Arsenal fans. But now, like I said, we have got to keep on, take it one game at a time.
Yes,
and see where this leaves us. But we have to kick on, and I think tomorrow is also very important as well for momentum. But I'm sure we'll come on to that for the next stage. We'll listen to what everyone else has got to say for us.
Yeah, no, I said facts as always, man. And I'm glad for you that you went to the game and you actually experienced a very good performance.
Yeah, I enjoyed that game. I really did. It's the
Yeah,
most I've enjoyed it this season. Yeah.
Yeah, that just shows you, man. The performances, and it's not been pretty whatsoever, has it? But now we've gotten that enjoyment's back really, and that's what we're missing as well. But yeah, I'll come to you, Rory, bro. Obviously, yeah, great win, great performance against a good Forest side, man. But what did you make of it all, bro?
Yeah, that's exactly what we've wanted to see all season, and it's a shame it's come around about this time. But look, I think the international break came at the right time for us, and with obviously most players coming back from injury, it felt like most players had the time to obviously meditate and get back to full fitness. Ødegaard in particular, who was absolutely phenomenal. Saka as well, who I thought had their left back on toast. But Saka and Ødegaard aren't the ones that I'm properly going to big up, because we know how good they are. But I want to big up Partey, because I swear he has been so, I wouldn't say overhated, but at the start of the season, every Arsenal fan wanted him gone. Let's just have it right. I think he's been, forget our best midfielder this season, I reckon he's been our best player.
I agree.
Because at the moment, the way he's keeping things ticking, yes, he may not be the same player as he was 2 seasons ago, but he's still been extremely consistent. And that goal, I mean, he does love bangers against Nottingham Forest. Who remembers the 1 2 seasons ago?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did in the 5-0. Yeah, he did.
Oh, the 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Partey deserves a mention. Timber, I think, was superb at right back. I do like that trifecta of Timber, Ødegaard, and then Saka.
Yeah, that right side was good, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and although I really, really do rate Ben White, I think Timber is all round a better right back. I'm going to say this now.
I think it's a bit too early. I think it's a bit too early to say that.
But
because,
I see Julian Timber, and I think defensively, Ben White's good defensively, don't get me wrong, but I think Timber edges all the defensive attributes. And I feel like it kind of allows Calafiori to venture into midfield. He was pretty much everywhere the other day. And he was actually solid defensively too. So, look, I think until Ben White comes back, that's got to be our defence, depending on, whether Timber picks up another injury. Because obviously, we want to manage him well. He's just come back from an ACL injury, so he's going to be in and out of the team. However, he should be starting when fit as the right back until Ben White returns. Winery coming on was nice to see. Sterling getting an assist as well. And I look at Sterling and go, after that late cameo, it got me thinking that he's not really a bad player. I just think this whole time he's just been mismanaged rather than his actual ability. And yes, I know I didn't want Sterling at first, but I've never said he was a shit player. He's never been a shit player. And I feel like if he gets more minutes, he might not be as bad as most people are first anticipating. But that's been
my view all along. He's not the answer we wanted, but I don't think he's a bad stopgap, particularly at the price.
He's
a stopgap. He's not.
It's just the fact he's not playing, and the fact the manager has not been giving him any minutes. He's made 1 start in the Premier League. I see you shaking your head. I'm not blind, Steph.
I think I 100% agree with you. How's the guy going to get better if he's not given any minutes? And
yeah, there you go. I mean, if Sterling gets a run of games and he's not being consistent, then yeah, fair enough. Say he's crap. But I can't really judge him when he's not really played. He's only played 2 Carabao Cup matches, and then he started against Southampton. That's it. And he got an assist when he came on. On my watch along, I was pointing my nose like, Winery. Who the fuck is this coming on? Like at first, I was, who is this coming on? Until I noticed it was Sterling. But yeah, Winery though stole again their headlights, and bro, again, I don't remember our centre attacking midfielder doing bloody step overs at 17 years of age. Step overs against a Brazilian defender as well. Like, yo, big man thing, rest, bro. Like, he's 17 years of age, and he's man's out here doing step overs. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him play, and hopefully after that goal, he's going to hopefully get more minutes. And I want to say this now. I think Winery should be given a go alongside Ødegaard. I should go, I guess, a midfield three of either Rice or Partey in the 6, and then Ødegaard and Winery, just for something different. Moreno, though, I forgot to mention as well, I thought he was superb. I really do. And I think, Jesus Christ, look at this. Oh my God.
Agenda incoming.
Seb, oh my God. But yeah, I'm going to say this now. I think Moreno has improved in the last couple of games.
I agree. I think he's more balanced.
Ran away.
I think he's all right against Chelsea when he came on.
I haven't seen enough. He's the guy runs like he's got cement in his boots.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I think you kind of need to apply context as well when he's not really had a pre-season due to the shoulder injury. And
you're right.
I think he has improved slightly. Right, I think he was a lot better.
A lot better.
I think you make the point with
Sterling. I
Sterling.
would still start Winery though ahead of him. That's what I would do. But I think Moreno was in these last couple of games has actually improved. To be fair to him,
I'd worry about the balance with Wanyeri and Ødegaard unless you're playing a lesser side. I think Moreno is kind of in that same bracket as.
What is this guy written down?
I can't read that. Shambled, I think it says.
Who?
I think he's talking about the window, but I think Wanyeri and Ødegaard.
The camera's inverted, so we can't exactly see. So
yeah. I was going to say, I think the balance there might be wrong unless you're playing like a weaker side with Ødegaard and Wanyeri. Yeah. But if you're chasing game late, but I think what Moreno has done, and I think you made the point earlier about Sterling, we haven't seen enough yet. And
it's still
backwards.
Does that say Zubamendi?
What is he doing?
It's literally inverted. I can't properly.
I mean, we can cover why Zubamendi didn't come again, but the thing with Moreno is, I actually thought he provided a bit of balance in that left side, and I thought the left side looked a lot better today on Saturday. Obviously, Calafiori makes a difference. I think the Trossard pick, and I said before the game, Martinelli, but.
Oh, bless up Eve, man. Bless up Eve. Oh, bless up, man. Oh. Bless up Eve, man.
But
Hi.
You say hi?
No.
All right.
No.
Sorry, guys.
He's gone. But I think more and more as you see that, and I think that balance works well there. And I think that was really important. And I said before the game that I was going to go with Martinelli, but actually the Trossard pick was the right pick because actually Forest were deeper and you want Trossard to unlock that. But I think Moreno plays a part in why that left side was better on Saturday. He might not be flashy and he isn't quick. That is definite. And we definitely need to see more from him. But to Rory's point earlier, like with Sterling, we haven't seen enough of him. But what we are seeing, with the exception of that Inter Milan, I think it was game in the Champions League where he was a bit poor, we've seen him get better each time he plays, and I think that's an important thing to remember with him because, as you rightly just said, Rory, he didn't have a pre-season because he did his shoulder in training session 1,
and he wasn't signed in time as well.
Yeah.
Like
Havertz last year, right?
No, not good enough.
That's what you said about Havertz last year.
Yeah.
Bro's lost 10,000 aura points there.
I can't even see Seb's screen, so I don't know what he's writing, guys. But I'm looking at my iPad. He's got that piece of paper up, don't he?
Yeah, I think it says Zubamendi.
As we discussed last
You
time.
don't want to come to Arsenal, by the way.
Just out of curiosity, Seb.
He was all right. He was all right.
Was he all right?
He just did what he had to do. He was all right. I still need to see more.
Yeah, of course. Like when he does eventually,
One game doesn't
we'll see
automatically
more
change
of
my
him.
mind. I need to see more. He was all right.
He's all right.
Yeah, let him put together a
Oh,
game.
right.
Let him put together a run of games, just like the team does.
Okay.
Where he shows us what he can
This
do.
is what I'm saying.
Okay.
If he doesn't,
Bye-bye.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I'm willing to give players time, when it's only November. But this guy has been onto Moreno's case since he's bloody been here.
I did say don't sign him. I've warned you.
And signed Zubamendi, who didn't want to come.
Oh no, we're not going through this again.
It wasn't me this time.
Yeah, it wasn't even Dom this time.
Well, you start everything, Dom.
I'm being maliciously maligned.
Okay, move on.
All
I've got no comment.
All right, guys. My next obviously thing I want to talk about is you guys got brought it up, which is Fez, but with Wanyeri, right? This kid, 17 years of age, come off the bench. Bear in mind, he had only 10 minutes to make an impact. Comes off and scores, man. Obviously, big up Raheem for the assist. Great finish from Wanyeri, getting his first ever Premier League goal. Now, for me, I've been crying out for this guy to actually start a game when we're playing teams like Southampton and Leicester, because I saw enough personally in the little cameos he had in the League Cup when he came off the bench. He looked very, very, he showed a level of maturity which I really liked. Like he's been there before. The way how he played, would have expected that the guy's 17, because he just looked like he fitted in there, if that makes sense. So for me, I would, and Rory said it as well, I do agree. I wouldn't mind seeing Wanyeri and Odegaard play together. I don't think Arteta will do it because I've been listening to what he's been saying in these press conferences, and he's saying he's going to easing him, saying like it's like laying bricks and like, one brick at a time and all that analogy and all this. So I don't think he's going to obviously like start him, but personally, I want to ask the whole panel this. Is it ready? Is it time to give Wanyeri a start? And I'm going to go with, I'll come to you first, Cooper, bro. What do you think, man? Do you think this kid's ready? Do you think we should start him?
Yeah, this kid's ready. I mean, see if the dress fits you. Like I said earlier, and we've all seen it every time he's come on, he doesn't look like a 17-year-old kid. I mean, he's like a man playing with boys. I mean, he's just so exciting on the ball. It's just I don't know why. I don't think Arteta is going to play him as much as I think we'd like him to, because, I don't think if Arteta starts playing him and he has his, Arteta's going to have to admit he was wrong, and he doesn't do that. I mean, we've seen it time after time after time with players, and that's the one critique that I have. I have many critiques about him, but I like he kept doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I remember I said to you, Josh, I said at your show one day, I said, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, and expecting a different result. And the whole time Odegaard was out, put the kid in, especially against Southampton. And what do you got to lose? I just don't. And to me, it's like, what does that tell the younger kids coming up? You're not going to get first time football or first team football. That's what I see. And if you remember, Saka, Martinelli, who else did Emery pull up? Oh, Emil Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
Those guys were pulled up by Emery. They weren't pulled up by Arteta. Who knows where they would be if Emery didn't come into the club when he did. But thoughts, you guys?
Yeah, no, bro, I'm with you there for sure, man. Like, I definitely think, as I said, this guy's ready. And for me, I want to see this guy start 100%. I've been saying it for quite a while. But I'll ask, I'll come to you, Seb, because you said obviously earlier saying that you're willing, you sort of agree with Ante easing him, which is fair enough as well. But, what do you think? I mean, is it all about easing him in, or is it like, for me, this guy's, for you, he's ready to start and we should be starting?
Well, I think he probably might have missed a trick earlier when Odegaard was out injured. Then he could have used him a little bit more. The fact is, I didn't like the fact when he was bringing him on when we were losing the game and we were bringing him on too late. Like when we were 2-0 down at Bournemouth, he brought him on at 80 minutes. That wound me up. That annoyed me. I think the thing is, he brought him on at the right time just to ease a bit of pressure off him and yeah, just let him bed in and let him still play his game. And yeah, he's definitely going to be needed in these upcoming games if we are to go on the run, because obviously to ease the pressure of Odegaard a bit and also to help his development. But yeah, I think Arteta is actually doing the right thing, easing him in, because the last thing you don't want is for him to suffer burnout and getting overplayed, because he keeps overplaying. Overplaying some youngsters, so there is also that. But yeah, I'm happy with the player. He's actually our third top scorer in all competitions with 4 goals, a few in the league.
Is he?
Yeah, in all competitions, it's him. It's Jesus, Havertz, and then him.
Wait, did you say Jesus?
No, sorry. Saka, Havertz, and
Jesus, really? No, I'm joking.
I wish it was because we could deal with that, but yeah, he's doing. But yeah, I'm very happy with how he's coming along, and yeah, and it sounds like we're going to give this guy a new contract, which is fully deserved. But yes, I do still stay into the fact that we should have bought another number 10 in another number 10 in, because although Ranieri is doing very well, it is too much pressure on him, and this is what I don't want. I don't want us to be relying on him, but to hamper his development. But all in all, I'm very, very impressed. And Tom, yes, Patino is still better.
No, he's not.
Oh,
No.
Seb's getting in his comedy act early tonight.
He had to add that.
I'm so consistent with what I say.
He's really trying to trigger Dom, bro. I'm telling you.
I mean, if you can back that up with facts, I'm more than happy to
you mentioned this in the chat earlier. So you brought this up in the chat, not me.
You had to add that towards the end about Patino, man.
He is better.
No, he's not.
Patino does this as well.
Please prove
Come up with facts.
We want facts, Seb.
FACTS. Facts.
What's the fact, Seb?
Something that's true.
Fire shots at us. Go on.
True.
Explain why Patino is better, Ben. Seriously, I'm all ears.
Right. Now.
No pressure.
Okay, fine. Now.
Red letter day. He's answering a question.
Now, did you actually watch some of the reserves?
Only for takeoff.
Some of the reserve, and also, did you actually watch his loan spells? And also, did you actually watch him the times when Patino has actually come in?
What, the 2 games he played for Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also when he was on loan, I was like, his loan spells.
How many times did you watch him? I mean, I didn't watch him.
I've watched him quite a few times. I'm telling you now, we have made a mistake letting that guy go.
But how does that make him better than Ranieri?
No, because when you want stars coming through, you need a couple. Yes, it's good that you've got one in Ranieri. Good. But you also want another one. Patino's better than much better than him. Because also,
so if he's that good, why did he go to Deportivo La Coruña, who last time I checked was a 2nd division Spanish side, where he's got 2?
I don't know that. I don't know about that. That's probably for another story. But you had lots of top clubs come in for him. You had, especially Barcelona and Juventus. You had lots of top clubs in for him.
Okay, are you going to provide me evidence of that this time? I mean, I've only asked like 250.
You just look it up.
I have looked it up, mate.
Look it up.
I have looked it up. I can't find one bid.
Where's Josh gone?
I can't find one article saying there were bids that Arsenal turned down from any of those clubs last summer.
But
Not one.
maybe there weren't concrete bids, but there was lots and lots. Maybe there weren't concrete.
So hang on. So again, if he's this good, yeah,
He is.
right.
The next Aaron Ramsey, there you had.
Hang on.
Tom.
So if he's this good at £1 million, yeah, are you telling me that top clubs didn't have the money to spend £1 million on Charlie Patino?
Oh, no. The thing is, maybe they were thinking Arsenal. Maybe they were thinking Arsenal wanted more for him because he was either out of contract or we had 1 year left.
Yeah, but Arsenal accepted £1 million. So when they accepted that, why would they not match it?
That's because it was too late in the window for them to hold on for more. That's because. So obviously,
why didn't they match it then? If he's that good?
Obviously, they were going to accept. They weren't. Obviously, they weren't going to accept. They weren't going to hold out for the bigger bigs later on in the window because that's not what they
Even
do.
the chat's coming up with facts, you know.
Sorry.
Even the chat is coming up with facts.
Yes,
more facts than you are.
Have you let these people watch his
the only argument you have is Barcelona. Juventus.
They were them in particular, both them and Juventus.
So is that the only argument you have?
No. It's one of the very few arguments I have.
Okay, but there's no. Are you seriously? Okay, are you telling me that they wouldn't have matched that bid late in the window?
Of course they would have. But maybe they wanted other players. Maybe they wanted other players. And like Juventus went in and got some other players as well. Maybe they wanted that as well.
Yeah, but you're telling me they couldn't find £1 million? Of
course you can.
Right. Well, so why? But they didn't.
Of course you can.
Yes, but they didn't. So he can't have been that high up on their radar.
He is.
Well, he clearly wasn't. There isn't a single article backing it up. Look, I like Charlie Patino. He was highly rated.
Unreal. He was quality.
But sometimes players don't develop.
Quality, was he?
Not always. No, not always. Not if you don't actually give him a fair crack.
Let's let Cooper come in.
Look, when we played Nottingham Forest, he was their best. Him and Leno were the best two players.
Yes, one
we
game.
played Nottingham Forest.
One game.
Yeah,
let's let Cooper come in.
When we played Sunderland, came on, you saw what he could do. Yes, okay, you can't judge it totally on championship size, fair enough. But when he was actually given a run, I said you can't, fair enough.
But they weren't in the championship, though.
I said, fair enough, you can't judge it all based on championship's opposition. But when you saw his loan spell, when he was actually given a run of games, we saw glimpses. If you actually watched him, what he can do, he arrives late in the box. He gets the ball forward, technicality, and has an eye for goal.
Glimpses.
Should we let Cooper come in here because he knows all about glimpses of quality from Daniel Jones.
Go on then.
No, I was just gonna say he's gone, so who gives a shit?
Right.
Sorry?
I said he's gone.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But this is where we've gone wrong in the past.
Right, but we could
have had another. You see how good Ranieri is. You see how good he is.
Yeah.
Right. We could have had that. We could have had that as well with Patino. We could have had that as well.
Patino's not as good as you think he is.
Yep. But at a fire sale for.
The thing with him, he's injury prone. That's why, Evan. Yeah. And I wouldn't have taken him. I saw the link with him, but I would have said no. We need someone proper proven.
Honestly, I mean, the chat's come up with basic facts like Patino's bang average at Blackpool. What else?
He started really well at Blackpool.
Have what Ranieri has, though, which is true. What does Patino have over Ranieri? Instead of bringing up all of this gimmick about Barcelona and Juve have been sniffing around for Patino. The point is, they didn't get him. They didn't get him. So, which attributes has Patino got that's better than Ranieri? You don't know. Move on.
Big up Cooper with a 0, bro.
Exactly.
Hey, Cooper, I know all about glimpses of talent, don't we, Cooper?
Sorry? Sorry?
Cooper and I know all about what glimpses of talent can do and hanging on to glimpses of talent. 6 years, mate.
I'm telling you now, that's going
Different
to be
sport.
one we're going to live to regret.
No, we're not, Seb.
We will.
Literally in the
Time-
chat, Patino
time will
ran
tell.
away instead of fighting for his place at Arsenal. We didn't want to stay
I
at
will
Arsenal.
remind you all this because they do always come true in the
Oh
end.
my
Yes, I
fucking
know
God.
we don't always get everything right. But
Patino did not want to stay at Arsenal.
I don't think a lot of the younger players are.
well, let's be honest, a lot of
It's
younger
true,
players don't really
but-
want to stay.
But when Harry decided to stay,
I
Arteta doesn't
think right. Oh, lost you there, Cooper.
Oh, I said Arteta. I don't think he wanted to stay. Well, I don't think
No,
a
he
lot of
probably didn't, but
Arteta's
I
not going
think-
to play him.
I think
he didn't use him
But
at all.
Coutinho-
He would have stayed
Coutinho
if
didn't-
we didn't loan him out last season. He actually got a run of games and knew there was a pathway in. He would have stayed, but he didn't believe that. That's why he had to. That's why he went.
because we had so many midfielders ahead of him, that's why he went on loan in that season.
Yeah, true.
We're literally
But
challenging for the
a lot
title.
of them were towards the end of their contracts.
So you're telling me at the time, I believe it was 2 seasons ago when he was at Blackpool, you're telling me he would have got a spot ahead of Partey, Xhaka,
No.
and Ødegaard in that season?
No. Of course not. He doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be like that. When Henry doesn't start over Odegaard, Partey, and Rice.
Yeah, because he was 15 at the time.
He doesn't start over them. No, but even now, he doesn't start over them three.
So
So.
can you honestly say that Wineri would start over Patino in this Arsenal team right now?
Well,
Come on.
Well, he's older than him, so yeah, probably, yeah.
He's got 63 minutes in a Spanish second division side this season. Just on the youth
He
stuff, right? Just on the youth stuff.
And he has had a couple of niggles. He's had a couple of niggles, injuries,
Well,
which
well,
fine.
no, not according to what I'm looking at.
He certainly did last season.
On the bench unused, on the bench unused, on the bench unused, 7 minutes, on the bench, 45 minutes, on the bench, 11 minutes on the bench.
Thank you. It's done.
Because
It's
if you're not given a chance, you're not playing much. Then
done. Yeah, but Seb, it's
well, you
over,
said
mate.
this about Moreno. Oh, we haven't played him much and all this. When the fact is, I knew with him.
No, it's totally different because Patino has actually been available. Moreno has been unavailable with his shoulder hanging off, for crying out loud.
I think Cooper was trying to come in again unless you were glaring the
Oh,
sun
no.
in your eyes.
And that's Dom and Seb for you, Cooper.
Yeah, well,
Hey, it wasn't me today.
Every single podcast, bro.
It wasn't me. This one wasn't me.
Nah, it wasn't even done today, to be fair. I can't even lie. It was Seb, bro.
Oh, he starts everything.
Nah, not today, bro.
What about the chat earlier?
No. Seb.
No.
Seb,
No.
you had no need to mention Patino, mate. Yeah, I asked you about Wanyeri.
I thought-
said,
Yes,
I
Wanyeri's good.
Don't
Don't get me wrong, Moreno's great. I love him.
Could
I
I
just
just-
tell you what? Seb,
But I'm just saying what you could have had. What we
Can we
could
go
have
Tell
back
you
to the
what,
original question, Seb, now? What I asked, like, is
Go on
he
then.
ready? Like, would you start him, or is it easing him in for you?
Well, in some games you can start him with what we're coming up,
Okay.
but the thing is, well, maybe we have to ease him in. We got Odegaard back now, so give him a run of games to build his fitness, and yes, keep bringing him in around like give him like a 20 minutes or so, but not when we're losing. Of course, you don't do it, but when we're winning, give him a run of games, give him some confidence. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yes.
That's fair enough. Dom, mate, what do you think? Do you think he's should be starting, or is it about easing him in for you?
So, I mean, I think there's a couple of bits I just want to sort of pick up. I think the pathway to you go back to Emery, right? And Emery, you're absolutely right, Cooper. Emery gave Smith Rowe and Saka their start. Arteta, to his credit, did continue that. Obviously, not so much with Smith Rowe after the injuries, but with Saka. And I think we're sort of seeing him use Miles Lewis-Skelly this season and Wanyeri. So I think there's a slight issue I have that everyone wants to win now, but everyone also wants to see the kids play, and they're not always compatible. But what I think has become harder is it is now harder to make that step up from the youth team which I don't think has been stellar in the last couple of years, but I think we're starting to get a little bit of a batch potentially coming through now. But it's getting harder to make it into that first team because the bar is raised. And I think that's both a good thing in terms of that means we're likely to be competing and trying to win things now, but it's obviously a bad thing for sort of homegrown players coming through. So I think that's a difficult one where the balance is going to be difficult to get right. I think in terms of Wanyeri,
Can I just say
I
something?
would have played. Oh, sorry, Cooper. Yeah, come back, please.
I just want to say, every other team seems to sell their youth players at a much higher value than we do. Right?
I think that's true to some extent. I think it comes in a little bit of rhythms. So Liverpool have had a good batch come through, and have used them. Manchester City have had the odd player come through. I think probably the more experienced managers like Pep and Jurgen Klopp probably do trust them more. I think that is a fair assessment as well. But I think it's not quite correct to say that when Arteta doesn't use them at all. But I think you're right. Liverpool, Man City, as examples, have trusted their youth more. What City have got: Oscar Bob come through, Foden come through, Cole Palmer came through, but obviously moved out. And Pep did trust them more. On Wanyeri, I would have started him slightly more in these games because I think they were probably free hits. I don't personally think I would have criticised Wanyeri if he'd played against Southampton and missed a sitter or something like that. I think probably as we started to go into that bit of a dip, I think Arteta became more resistant. And I'm guessing here because the pressure was up and the mood wasn't quite right. And I think he didn't want to put that on him. I personally would have done so. I would have played him more and trusted him more, whether we were winning or losing, because I think the kid's special. And I think you can protect him in the media and say, look, he's a 17-year-old kid. It's on me. It's not on him. I think you can do that. But I think he will play more minutes. I think he's probably played more minutes than I expected him to this year. But I'm glad he has got those minutes, because I do think he's quite special. But I think the other thing here is I think what we do need to do is get it right in terms of a bit like Manchester City, Pep Guardiola did with Phil Foden. It's that balance between giving him minutes, which I think he needs and I think he's getting, without sort of going, hey, you're the man. And as I said earlier, I think, would I start him Odegaard and Wanyeri? No, I wouldn't. Because I just think the balance is right with a Mourinho or a Partey or Jorginho in that 8. Not Partey, Rice would be the 8. Partey's the 6, obviously. I think the balance is better. But I want to see Wanyeri coming on for Saka or Odegaard, quite a lot, and starting things like the League Cup games, or even starting against, Ipswich or something like that. I'm doing Ipswich a disservice. Of course, they're still a Premier League team and still a good team, but you know what I mean? Just a few games like that to sort of ease him in, and if he can get, say, 800, 1,000 minutes this season, I think that's really, really good for his development. But I think the kid is really, really special. I think there was Saka is obviously a world-class player, but I think there's a potential Saka there. I'm not saying he'll get there, but I think that's a ceiling for him.
Yeah, no, definitely hear the point, man. I definitely hear the point. And finally, Rory, bro, what are you at with, Wanyeri? Is it time to start this guy? I know you said earlier about, him playing with Odegaard.
Yeah, I think he does deserve at least 2 or 3 starts at the moment, especially when we've got winnable games coming up. No, obviously disrespect to any of the teams we are playing against, but I think it is time, But what I don't want us to do is run him into the ground like we have done with Saka, because it's funny because we've been moaning this whole time that Saka needs a rest, and then we're not patient when it comes to Wanyeri when he's like obviously 17, and he obviously needs time to adapt. And obviously, he doesn't look out of place at the moment, and I'm not denying that. But I just think at the moment, we are managing Wanyeri very, very well. It's just in these games like Leicester and Southampton, there's the criticism. He probably should have started in both of them games, especially when we had a creative midfielder. I think that was the criticism because Odegaard was out injured and we had no one else, and Trossard wasn't cutting the mustard in that position. Obviously, you look at players like Kobbie Mainoo, the way he hit the ground running at Man United, and so far this season, it seems like he has been burnt out. So I understand the way we are managing Winery this season, I think it's just a matter of time before we go, yes, this is where we're going to throw him into the deep end against, I don't know, just anyone, any like big game. He could get the nod, because I remember when Arteta was very close to losing his job not so long ago, and he threw in Smith Rowe into the deep end against Chelsea. So he does have the capabilities of doing it, but it's a matter of when. And I think the guy is ready for not just a start, but more minutes off the bench as well. I think, again, that's been another criticism, the fact he's coming on far, far too late, and he's still arguably one of our standout players when he's coming off the bench, despite having 10 minutes. So I reckon he should start. Perhaps not Sporting, but West Ham is a good opportunity, because West Ham are horrendous at the moment.
Well, they're beating Newcastle 2-0 at the moment.
Yeah. Well, apparently they're missing their manager. Lopetegui's been he's not been sent off. Yeah, are you watching it, Dom?
No, I've got it. I've got the BBC feed up.
I
actually saw it on Twitter. By the way, do you reckon we can ask the FA if the one match ban for Lopetegui can not apply on Saturday? Should they will waive it?
Yeah, and also one last thing I want to say, yeah, Seb. The moment you start rating Winery, yeah. Well, I'm not saying you don't, but
I do rate him.
The moment you start getting on board and say Winery is better,
I do rate him. I never said I didn't.
Bro, it was with me. The moment you start rating Winery over Patino, I'm Patino all the way.
Well, I know where you've got that from.
Oh no!
I'm not saying. We don't talk about that guy on here.
Bro,
we don't talk about that guy on here.
How many times have you said what phase is this manager in?
Yes, exactly.
I know where you got that from as well.
No, everyone has been saying that. Everyone has been saying that.
No, they're not.
It's everyone.
Damn pot. He said it. He said it. In fact, he was the one that started saying it, actually. It was more Dan.
Who else is saying it then?
I'm not saying who else.
Gary,
what do you mean?
Guys, I got to run, be a dad. But
Cooper, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, brilliant.
Cooper, before you go, can I ask you one question?
Sure.
I was going to say, what's your views on how the season's going to end? I know it's away, but sort of where do you think Arsenal will be in 6 months' time?
It all goes back to the transfer window.
Yeah.
It just goes back to the transfer window. I mean, and do we sign anybody in January, or do we do what we usually do? It's too hard to find anybody in January. Like something. Then, if we sign somebody like a Gyökeres, I think we are in for an exciting spring. And I mean, if they played like they played Saturday, then I think we could have it'll be a pretty good season, probably top 4. That's it. I don't think anybody's going to catch Liverpool unless Liverpool goes on to skids.
I think Liverpool are running hot at the moment. I really do, and I don't think it's sustainable for them.
Yeah, they look very compact defensively than they did under Klopp.
And they better not be for Arteta's sake as well. I hope not.
So you don't? Do you think we'll win anything this season, Cooper? Just a gut feel.
We may win a trophy, but it's not going to be a major trophy. And
FA Cup maybe.
Right, fair enough.
Or a League Cup.
You were saying about the New York Giants quarterback. They just let go. We said 7 years for this clown, $170 million.
160.
Yeah, terrible. And he's been terrible for 7 years. I think we all have that question lingering. Is Arteta the guy? But I just don't see Even if we don't, there's never any heat on our team. You know, it's always these questions of, you know, like philosophical questions that they ask him in his press conferences. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit what you think about Yorker. Like, that's when you know, I come from a generation where, you know, if somebody asks you a question, you answer them back. You don't back around the bush or sometimes be very off-putting to people, but at least they know I'm honest.
Yeah. I mean, this new media trained answers are really irritating. I get why they do it, but I agree. I think if a question is asked, you should answer it.
Yeah.
But 7 years being Giants fans and watching nothing, and I'm feeling kind of the same with Arteta. Show me something. No. Yeah, we've been exciting the last, but he's got his favorites and he plays his starting 11 all the time. You knew who to sign. You knew 3 years ago who was going to start. You knew 2 years ago who was going to start. You knew last year who was going to start. There were very little questions. You know, there's been more questions this year because of all the injuries.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say whether he's going to continue that this year or not. My gut feeling is slightly yes, but hopefully we're wrong. But no, thanks for answering that. I appreciate that. I just wanted to know where you were from a view from stateside. That's
I want to see a lot more, like we all do. Like you were saying, show me the proof.
Yeah, well, I think that's fair. I mean, if he wins nothing by the end of the season, I think he has to go, right? I mean, I said it 2 weeks ago. I think that now, but I genuinely think that we can win this league. I really genuinely do. I might look damn stupid in May, but we'll see.
I hope I look.
Yeah. I said since year 2 of Daniel Jones, I hope I'm wrong, but I won't be.
Nah, Cooper, bless up for coming on, man. Really appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah, I think we've lost him, but
I think we lost him. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, the audio's turned into a Weetabix.
Yeah, bless up Cooper, man. Bless up to him, man. My guy, always in the chat from the States. If you guys recognize him, he has a Jokeres profile picture. He's always in the chat, regular, man. So it was, you know, a pleasure to get him on from the States. But where were we, guys? We were talking about Patino still.
oh god, I hope not.
I mean, yeah, me and Seb were. And the fact I'm going to start rating Patino, he ends up rating Winery over as well.
Yeah. Listen, guys, let's move to the final topic. Obviously, tomorrow night's game, Sporting Lisbon away. You know, Champions League. You know, this will be a very, very tough game, man. Obviously, I know what's happened with the managerial situation. Amorim's gone to Man United, so he's obviously left Sporting now. Will that play an effect for them? I think you look at it one or two ways. Or will they get the new manager bounce from there? Because the new manager that came in, I think he's like Pereira, reserve manager. He won his first game 6-0 of them. So it's kind of like they've already got a new manager bounce already. So that, you know, they've left off what they've been doing.
He was playing a park team though, wasn't he?
Say that again?
He was playing a park team though, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was like Portuguese Cup, like fourth division. I don't even know, mate. But yeah, to be fair, it was like Portuguese Cup. But them as a team, you know, they've been unbelievable this season. 11 wins out of 11 so far. I think they drew a PSV, but that's the only draw they've got this season. Other than that, they've won every single game in all competitions. So they're absolutely flying. Probably the big part of that was down to their manager because, you know, he did do a fantastic job for them. We know who they have up front. We know he's a danger man. Jokeres on absolute fire. We saw what they did to Man City as well. Obviously, Jokeres himself as well. You know, I'm confident in Saliba and Gabriel that they can, you know, shut this guy down. I really am. I think they've done it in the past. So like Haaland, they did it in the past. I really think they can do it again to a quality striker in like Victor Jokeres. They are missing the big player in Gonçalves. I think he's the same guy that scored against us.
Yeah,
I think he lobbed us from the halfway line, didn't he, in the Europa League game a few years ago.
We don't have Ramsdale anymore. Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah. So yeah, he's obviously injured them, so a big miss for them. They've got obviously like Diamande at centre back, who's been a very highly rated player, over the recent sort of time. They've got that. I think Rory, you telling me about this guy. I actually never heard of him, but is it Quenda? There's like 17. I think he plays right wing back. Apparently, he
does.
He was decent. So listen,
they may be playing a different formation though.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, because they've got a new manager and Amorim sets up with a 3 at the back, so might not be playing wing back, might be playing as a winger.
Yeah, there we go then. So that'd be interesting to see. Obviously, in terms of, I say this quite often, but it's away from home. The away form is a worry for me in Arsenal Champions League. Very, very. If this game was at home, I'll be sitting here thinking, I think we can do these, man. But away from home, and obviously we've got that record against them in Europa League. They already done us in Europa League. They knocked us out. They came Emirates, knocked out on penalties, and I think we actually beat them under Emery, though, didn't we? Danny Welbeck scored.
We did.
And then it was 0-0 at
Emirates.
Emirates.
In the following fixture.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough game, but I do believe that we will get the win. I've gone with a 2-1 Arsenal, but I'll come to you first, Seb. How you feeling for this game, man? Sporting away, Champions League, big one.
Well, it's going to be a very difficult game because, as you've said, mainly because our record away from home in this competition is awful. We've not won away from home since Seville last year. That's the last time we won away from home. And we've really scored away from home because we didn't. When was the last time we
even that Sevilla game as well? That second half, remember it? Like we've run it like a little.
Yeah, but the last goal we scored away from home
PSV
in the Champions League was
Nketiah.
Well, it's not good enough. And especially our record in Portugal is absolutely abysmal. The only time we have won in Portugal was that under Unai Emery.
In fairness, in the Champions League, all English clubs' record in Portugal is fairly abysmal.
Not great.
So,
not just Arsenal.
Liverpool always
beat Benfica in Europa League on
Liverpool
in the Champions League.
No, we drew.
Liverpool been to Porto and smashed them a few times.
No, they haven't actually.
Yeah, they did. They smashed them 4-1.
No, they smashed them 5-1, and they did it once. Not a few times. So I was just looking. The last time was that Porto loss against Liverpool, which was 5-1. Before that, the previous time was the Champions League quarter-final. Chelsea won 2-0 in Porto, and that was both of those were in 2021, funny enough. One was 2020-21, and the other was 21-22. Before that, I had to go back a heck of a way for a Champions League win, which was 2019. So, there's not been that many wins for England, and the English record has been better in the last 10 years than it was before that. Arsenal were actually the first team to win, I think, away in the Champions League in Portugal, which was freaking ages ago. So no one has a great record in Portugal, but Seb is right. It needs to improve. There's no question.
Has to improve. Has to improve, but yeah, and this is a real chance now because Arsenal now need to go on a run, and this also involves in Europe as well to get this momentum going. Let's make a little bit of a statement because the only way clubs will take us seriously in this competition is if we win some matches away from home in this. Get some statement wins. It's something we've not done. We didn't beat Atalanta. We lost to Inter Milan. So we've got to sort this out, and we do have the team to do it. We do have the defence to do it, of course, but we've got to go out there and get the job done. And the team is more than capable of doing it because we've got everyone back now, bar Ben White and Tommy Asher. I think they're the only two definite absentees, but everyone else is all back. So there's no excuses. Let's go to these grounds and actually get a result. And yes, Gorkarez is the main guy we need to keep quiet, but so we always say Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, and Calafiori. That's near enough our full strength back line. So they should be capable of stopping strikers like that. But yeah, there is no excuses to go out there and make a little bit of a statement and build some momentum because we're going to need it because now we have to win. And this also includes this competition, like I said. And also we are. I think we're round about 12th in the table.
Yeah, we could be in
So,
trouble if we drop points in this game, you know.
I believe we've got to win every single game.
yes, I mean the games we've got are winnable. We got this, we got Monaco, we got Zagreb, and we got Girona.
Girona, yeah.
So,
Yeah, we should win all of them games. If we beat Sporting, then I think we will be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so this is
Although Monaco are doing well at the moment.
This is a test for Arsenal. This is a test. Go out there, get the job done. Yes, I know they smashed Man City, but still, I don't care about other clubs. I care about Arsenal. There's no excuse. There's no excuses for us. If we don't go out there and don't do the job, I don't want to be hearing, oh, well, they beat Man City as well. No.
Yeah,
tired of using these excuses. We want to overtake them and all this. So come on, let's get the job done.
It will be a huge reality check.
Exactly, and the team is very capable of doing that. Let's not put some negative vibes back in. We've got some good momentum now following that win. Build on it.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. Dom, mate, I'll come to you next. How are you feeling, obviously, about this game tomorrow night, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling quite optimistic. I mean, Seb is right. I don't think it's necessarily a must-win game. I mean, I think in terms of qualification, I think Arsenal qualify. I think,
momentum, yeah.
But what I do think is important is that momentum, right? The old Big Mo. I think the results in Inter and Atlanta were not by any stretch the end of the world. And I think there were some mitigating circumstances around both fixtures. I think this one, we are near enough at full strength. And I think this squad is good enough and should be good enough to go and win in Sporting. I don't care if they win 1-0 and it goes in off Jesus' backside, right? It doesn't matter. You just need to go and win that game and take that into the West Ham. Because, you know, I've been making the case for some time that Arsenal's start to the season is incredibly difficult, compounded by the injuries. And that's why I don't think the season's over. But they need to show it's not over by going to win games like this. And this is a statement win, right? If you go to Sporting, who have been on fire this season, as you said, are beating sides, and we know that it's a difficult place to go, you go there and you get a win. I think that's really, really important. I think it would arguably be the biggest win we would have had since that win at Spurs all that time ago, right?
Yeah.
It's up there with that sort of one. I mean, because I think both Sporting and Spurs are decent size, but I think we are better. And I think we need to show that by winning in their place. Just say, I think if we draw, I think we can qualify. But I think that makes finishing the top 8, which is ideally where you want to finish, difficult. Yeah. But of course, what we do know is that at least 3 or 4 big sides are going to miss out on the top 8 because there's 12-ish really big sides, and it doesn't go into 8, whichever way you cut it, right? By the way, I've just seen Jonathan David. Did you know he's got 6 goals in the Champions League this season?
He's not goal scorer, ain't he?
Yeah, I didn't realise. I just literally just saw that on the, you know, when I was just checking where the table was. Yeah, Jonathan David's top goal scorer.
Not
I
good
didn't believe that. I had to double check it.
Yeah,
not good enough for Arsenal.
But I'll tell you what will be interesting. Will be what that team selection is tomorrow night.
Yes.
I think Jorginho may well start tomorrow, and I will be massively in favour of Jorginho starting tomorrow because I think in games like this, that experience and that control are really quite crucial.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, and I'm not sure I'm risking Declan Rice tomorrow if he's not fit, by the way.
No, I don't know. I'd go. Yeah, I'd actually go part. I'll go Partey and Jorginho and
Jorginho, yeah.
Partey, Jorginho, Odegaard. That's what I'll go with.
Yeah.
Rice, I'll save to the weekend.
I think my team would be the same back 5, Raya, and the other back 4. I think I would, and I thought Moreno added balance to the side, and I think he's had a good decent performance at the weekend. I think I drop him for Jorginho in this game and bring Partey in at 6. For this one because of Jorginho's experience and that tempo setting that Jorginho is really, really good at. I think that's crucial in Champions League games. I would see him start more in the Champions League than the league this season. I think this is one of those. Odegaard ahead. And then the other change I'd make would be Martinelli in for Trossard because I think away from home, Sporting are going to have to come more. And I think Martinelli's pace
up front.
Havertz comes in for Jesus as well.
Okay.
I wouldn't also be against Jesus starting as well. If we want
I
to,
wouldn't be against it either.
Yeah, because it will just hear me out. It would give us the ability to play it through Sporting with Jesus through the middle. Whereas with Havertz, I feel like this isn't a dig at Havertz, but we do play better without him up top.
I don't agree that we play better without him, but I think there are horses for courses, and I think your logic with where Sporting play and how they play, a bit like if we're playing Spurs, right? I think there is there is logic to playing Jesus because of the high line that Sporting will presumably play.
Yeah,
they probably will. To be fair, yeah.
But I think we are better generally with Havertz over Jesus up top because I think he's a linker. It's what I call not a proper striker for years, so I need to be consistent because it's what I call Bobby Firmino. But Bobby Firmino knitted together that Liverpool side, right? Without really truly being a striker. It's kind of what Havertz is. I think Jesus, for this kind of game where you've got space behind, might be the better option. And that's what I was praising Arteta for on Saturday. Trossard was the sensible pick on Saturday. I said Martinelli, I was wrong. Trossard was a sensible pick because Forest play that deeper line and you need the clever pass to unlock it. This one, I think, is the pace that might well do us the favour.
Yeah, no, I think Jorginho, great point there because I remember, was it last Champions League? He played a few group stages, didn't he, against like Sevilla, Emirates.
Yeah, he did.
He was superb, I thought, and obviously when he had that run, I think when Payet was injured, he came in that games against Liverpool, Newcastle. Really liked, him coming in there. Like, I agree. I don't think he's a player that obviously like you play week in, week out, but for these like individual games, like Champions League wise, like he's.
To be fair,
I think he
they
can
are home games. That's all I'm gonna say. Away from home might be a risk.
Yeah, I hear it, man. I hear it, but again, like Declan Rice hasn't even been performing. I know he's got a little bit of that injury, but I don't think he's been at his best either. But I wouldn't mind seeing obviously Payet's got to be in there. That's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing what Seb said is a Payet and Jorginho tomorrow.
Well, in my opinion, I want to see Moreno to start alongside Odegaard because I think we need a more balanced midfield. And the way Moreno's been playing at the moment, I think with Jorginho and Partey, I'm not really a fan of like a double pivot. Like two of them are DMs and you've got Odegaard in front. Like I'm not a fan of that, if I say so myself. So I think we're better off going with a more balanced.
That is a fair point.
That's fair.
I think that's a fair point. You'd have to rely on their passing to cut the lines, right? I'm certainly not against Moreno starting. But I think Partey needs to start this one, and I'm not sure I want Jorginho Moreno. I think that's too slow, and therefore that's where I would go. But I think I just want Jorginho in that side. I think he's the right option, and therefore I go Jorginho Partey. But also, if Moreno starts with Partey or Rice, I'm certainly not against that.
Yeah. Also, when are we going to see this trifecta of Calafiori, Moreno, and Martinelli? Because this is why we bought in Moreno to unlock.
We've still not seen it yet.
I don't think we have seen Calafiori, Moreno, and Martinelli start together once.
We haven't seen them start. I think they've had a couple of minutes together.
No, I don't think we have.
No, we haven't.
No, we didn't against Liverpool. That was Timber.
And I thought we was going to do it on Forest, but he played Trossard there, didn't he?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, maybe because
also, I mean, hear me out on this. Yeah.
Go on.
I mean, obviously, I'm trolling, but do we lose tomorrow? Because let's say Gyökeres scores a hat-trick on us, then that will encourage Arteta to then hopefully go and get him. But let's say if Saliba and Gabriel put him in his back pocket, we might have to use that catchphrase, or he might have to use that catchphrase of, blimey, can't beat them, you join them.
No,
I 4-3
No.
If Sporting win, Gyökeres scores a hat-trick, that could encourage Arteta to sign him. But if we win and keep Gyökeres quiet, then that could encourage Gyökeres to come to us.
Just really quickly. I know
like a win-win, but
I know you're not being totally serious.
Trolling.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think you make decisions like that based on one game. Like, if you do, that's when you get yourselves into all sorts of difficulties with any signing. It's like signing players after one good international tournament, right?
Exactly.
It's always
You've
asking
seen how
for
that's
something.
gone.
Sorry?
You've seen how that's gone when you sign players.
Yeah,
Do you-
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you not think Klopp did that with Minamino though? Was it Minamino when they played
Yes.
Salzburg?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mino who?
That wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he wasn't all that. Minamino.
Nah,
Would you guys prefer
He was better than
Isak or-
Coutinho, though.
No.
Nice one.
No.
Would you guys prefer Isak or Gyökeres if you had to choose one?
Isak.
Oh.
Really?
Isak.
I thought it was
I want it. I would love either.
Oh,
And
wow.
those two are my preferred picks, but based on style of play, Isak. But I think Isak will suit our style of play.
I'll tell you what, get your heart monsters ready because I actually agree with him.
I
Isak,
would
just because-
also
Yeah,
say,
I think
I'll
Isak would be
take
a better
both.
signing than
Either
Gyökeres.
one of those two, I'd love.
I think Isak would be a better signing than Gyökeres if I say so myself.
Yeah, only because
Because he
he's
could play
done
on
it
the
a
wing
bit.
as well.
Only because he's done it a bit more in the Prem, and also he'll suit
No,
us.
not just
our
that,
style of
actually.
play. He's everything that we need.
Not just that, actually. I think Gyökeres doesn't really fit our system very well, if I say so myself, because whenever we've seen Arsenal play in transition, I reckon the Premier League teams he will, I guess, fit into when it comes to, the system he suits, and probably Liverpool and Man United to some extent. I don't think he suits Arsenal. I don't think he suits Man City because we're going to ask him to drop deep every time because teams are now setting out with a low block due to the fact Arsenal, Man City have been arguably two most dominant teams in Europe in the last 2 seasons, whereas Isak suits our style of play. He's willing to drop deep. He's willing to go out wide if he has to. And he's more of a poacher than Gyökeres. Whereas if you watch a lot of sporting games, you see them obviously hitting Man City, for instance, on the counter attack because City love to press. They love to press high up the pitch, and every time they do it, one ball over the top to Gyökeres. So I've never really seen Gyökeres. I've never watched Gyökeres as like a poacher for Sporting, whereas Isak, on the other hand, is a poacher and is exactly what we are looking for. So I would say Isak will be a better signing than Gyökeres, and he would fit the system better. Because I know I keep rumbling on, but I think, was it 2012? And Man City had Jerome Boateng and company as their centre-back pairing, but it wasn't balanced. They didn't fit the system. So they signed Lescott from Everton, and they ended up winning the league. So sometimes it's not all about the best players. It's about, how
it's about tactical fit,
players
isn't it?
function in the system.
Yeah,
What were we saying, Dom?
It's about tactical fit.
Yeah.
I would rather have a less talented player that fits a tactic and the way you want to play than a more talented player that doesn't. I actually think that some of Real Madrid's issues this year have come because of Mbappe. Quality player, but it's just not working, right? And that's a very simplistic statement, right? There are other issues than that, but I think that is a factor in it. I actually think you can fit Gyökeres into the system, by the way. What I think, the reason I would go Isak...
Yeah, I would take him still.
The reason I go
The
reason I go Isak is because I think he's something different to Kai Havertz, whereas Gyökeres is more similar. I'm not saying they're identical. I think let me finish. I think there are differences between Havertz and Gyökeres, obviously, but I think there are big differences between Isak and Havertz, much bigger, and I think that allows you to mix it up a little bit. Where I was talking about Martinelli and Trossard earlier, I think Isak Havertz is your two options up front, similar to Jesus and Havertz now. I think gives you much more of a difference than Gyökeres and Havertz. Now there is a difference, to be clear, between the two. Havertz is much deeper than Gyökeres, as Rory was rightly saying. I think my reservation, I was saying this in the summer, about where I understood Arsenal's hesitancy at getting the number 9 in the summer was there weren't that many options.
You have to make them available.
It's not about that.
How do you make them available?
Of course you can. We're Arsenal Football Club. You make them available.
Wow.
Of course the club didn't bother.
Finish, man.
No, I'm sorry. There was no reason for them not to do it, and this is going to And this is
Yes, but you can't make them available.
Of course you can.
No, you can't.
Yes,
Do we
you
need
can.
to revisit the train conversation?
Oh,
We're Arsenal Football Club.
just
Yes, you
fuck
can.
off from last week, you know.
Arsenal
So
Football
the
Club.
point I was going to make wasn't about whether you make them available or not, which, by the way, you know, he's not commuting down from Newcastle, but was that you could understand why there was some hesitancy, not just from Arsenal, but from other clubs about the options that were available, right? So Gyökeres, I didn't actually have reservations. I've been on the Gyökeres train for quite some time about his quality. Almost even before, I was quite surprised that Sporting went for him rather than a Premier League side when he left Coventry. That's how far back it goes. But particularly since Christmas last year, I've been like, this guy is the real deal. However, he wasn't proven in the Premier League, and you can understand possibly why at the price Premier League teams were a little bit hesitant to do so. Because I think you probably you're looking at Newcastle, Chelsea. I was surprised Tottenham didn't actually, but that sort of level where there's a little bit of a risk, but you can kind of get away with it rather than Liverpool, City, Arsenal. Isak was one of the others, but his injury record was probably a concern for them. Plus, he came out and said he wanted to stay. Newcastle was really happy. So again, you know, you're not moving. And then there was Osimhen in Italy,
that was who Arsenal really wanted before Jesus, because Napoli wanted over 150.
Can I just say, imagine
Arsenal said no, we'll move on. So he was there, right there. Why? This is who you wanted. He's there. With Napoli, we're actually giving him away.
But times move on. But times move on, right? And even Chelsea.
Even then, he was banging the goal. He's been banging the goal since he led Napoli to Serie A.
But
so
if you let me,
he wouldn't do it with us.
Well, I don't think we know that, right? Because he's only ever done it in Italy. But also, I think the reason people were hesitant about it was because he seemed really determined to go where the money was. And just the money. Even Chelsea balked at him. So, while I don't think they're preventative from it, you can understand the hesitancy of not just Arsenal, but of other sides with those number 9 options. I think now Gyökeres has proved himself beyond doubt. Osimhen has probably done himself. I think Osimhen's career now will he's not even the best striker in Nigerian striker right now. Boniface is. But additionally, I think if Isak can stay fit this season, for the rest of the season, I think Isak is the one I go for. Yeah. But he needs to prove the injuries. Gyökeres, I think, has proved himself beyond doubt. I mean, I have no issues with Arsenal not signing Osimhen, by the way. Really,
I mean, I'm not trying to be greedy, but imagine getting both, one in January and then the other in the summer, like we did back in 2018 when we bought Lacazette and then Aubameyang in January in the same season. So
you'd probably have to play one out on the left, right? Isak, presumably.
Yeah.
Or we could just switch up the formation.
You could play one out wide.
But that's not going to happen.
I mean, they're both Swedish, isn't it? They're both Sweden as well.
Yeah.
I think if you switch out the formation, you then lose a lot of what Odegaard brings because he has to play much deeper. And I don't want to do that because I think Odegaard is genuinely one of the best 3 or 4, without question, number 10.
I mean, we needed if you look at Isak's attributes, he does suit being a left winger.
I think he can. I almost prefer him switching a little bit, like we saw, like when Trossard plays on the left with Havertz. They're interchange and switching positions. I think with Isak, I prefer him central, but being able to switch with a left winger that can come in and switch into that middle, and a sort of Henri Perez. This comparison has been made a lot with Saka and Odegaard this season about their telepathy, but that interchange, I thought, you know, you could see the same sort of things happening again there, a bit like we were doing with the screen just now, which is moving in and out.
There we go. There we go.
But I prefer Isak central is the point I was making. But drifting to the left.
Yeah. Listen, guys, this I mean, Rory, have I came to you about Sporting? Can't even remember now. Fucking
I don't think you did, you know.
Yeah, I
did. You did.
Let's go to you. Did I?
Yeah, you did, and then he went on to Gyökeres.
Yeah, and then I asked the question about Gyökeres.
That's true.
Yeah, but I didn't say my lineup.
Yeah, go on.
Although I did say I'd start Partey, Marino, and Ødegaard. I keep the back 4 the same, and then the front 3, obviously Saka. I would bring back Havertz, but I wouldn't be against starting Jesus. and then Martinelli on the left. That's what I would go for. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, that's fair. And let's go score predictions, guys. I've gone 2-1. What you guys
I've
all
gone
say?
2-1 as well.
I went 2-1 as well.
There we go. Seb? He's going to be different. Watch.
He's going 1-0 Sporting.
3-2 Arsenal.
3-2. Jeez. Goals, man. And
you know what? This is the only game where I think, unless if Gyökeres scores, then unless if we win, we don't care if we concede goals to Gyökeres.
That would be your ideal scenario, wouldn't it? Josh 4-3 Arsenal with Gyökeres with a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Not Josh, sorry, Rory. I meant Rory. I did say
When
Josh.
Arteta activates his release clause in January.
But you just said Isak is your number one.
I said I'll be happy with either. I want one of those two.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean neglect that position and then we don't win anything because of it. Doesn't mean that.
But who else are you bringing in January? Just out of curiosity.
Bringing in you only bring in that striker. Then in the summer you fix
only the striker.
Yeah.
So you're not bringing in a midfielder.
He's selling half the squad, Rory. Don't forget, he's selling enough.
No. You're bringing in a striker in January. You're getting rid of Jesus. You're getting rid of Zinchenko.
No, you're not.
Rid of who else did I say needed to go?
Tierney, Kivior.
Yeah, Tierney. Yeah.
Our entire
Tierney,
defense.
someone else I said. Tierney, yes. Kivior, yes. You get rid of 4, you're getting in 1. Come on, that's doable. We're in profit.
No,
you're
not.
You're in profit.
You're not signing one player. You're not signing one player and then selling 4.
I mean, apart from the difficulty of selling them all in January, you complain again. We're going through this again. You're complaining about the squad side and you're reducing it by 3.
There we go. No words. Nice speech.
You gonna answer that, Seb?
No, of course not.
Nice speech.
Don't get Zubimendi. I'm telling you now, if he ends up at City or Liverpool, I'm telling you now,
he's not going to end up there.
Straight on here, not having a rant about them. If he ends up at one of our rivals and guides them to the title, we're not us. I'm telling you now.
I don't want to remind you,
rant
not want to come to Arsenal.
I've ranted about enough, missing out on enough players. Neto,
I don't want to remind you.
Basuma, I've ranted about. Gramanda, I've ranted about.
Yeah,
I'll rant about this one.
And would you take Basuma now?
Okay, fine. Maybe not now.
Okay. And I don't want to remind you, but Zubimendi did not want to come to Arsenal.
If he ends up...
He did not want to come to Arsenal.
If he ends up at City or Liverpool, come January,
want to come
watch
to
me.
Arsenal.
Watch me.
We can watch you rant, but it doesn't explain how he didn't want to come to Arsenal.
If he ends up at one of those 2 clubs, trust me, I'm going to lose it. It doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter.
If he wants to go to City or Liverpool in January, he will definitely have come.
Did Mudryk want the Chelsea move? How shit has he been?
What?
Mudryk did not want the Chelsea move. He wanted the Arsenal move.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, cool. That one I let go. But it wasn't him I was annoyed about. It wasn't so much him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember at the time you being fuming.
Yes.
Right, did Alexis Sanchez want the Man United move at the time?
No.
There you go.
How'd that end up for him?
Probably at Man United.
Bad.
Yeah, because when players don't want to go to somewhere, they tend not to perform at their best. It's a bit like if you ask me to go and do a job I don't want to do, I'm probably not going to do it overly well.
There you go.
There we go. Listen, guys, I've got to bounce. I'm on Liam's channel, Big Up Bayern View, literally right now. So we're gonna have to wrap this up, people. But listen, it's been a pleasure as always, guys. Big up for the time. Let's quickly shout out everyone's, because obviously my guy Dom's got a new channel. Dom, please shout what content you got coming up, man, and you know where people can find you as well now.
it's Arsenal domination on YouTube. I probably need to do something about Twitter and all that stuff, but I've just launched. I literally last Tuesday was my first video. So please do come and support me because I've no idea what I'm doing and I could do with all the support. Probably next video will be. I actually said the other day I'm going to do one on Wanyeri this week. So I probably will sort of do a quick one after the Sporting game because I've got going to work on Wednesday as well, and then a Wanyeri one. But thank you for shouting out. That's really kind, and all the support in the last week. Same to Lee Guna as well, who has also done loads, and I just wanted to say thank you to him as well. Not Lee Guna, sorry, Guna Gathering. I don't know what.
Lee Gunner.
Not Lee Gunner. Lee from Guna Gathering. I meant apologies. Lee from Guna Gathering. Just to be clear.
Reaction.
Thank goodness for that, because I'm never, ever bigging him up, ever.
It is possible I made a slip of the tongue on purpose just for
never, ever bigging him up.
But no, Lee from Guna Gathering, he like Josh and Tim from Online Big Blue as well have done loads to support me last week. So thank you to all three.
Yeah, that's Dan Potts' quote, not his.
There we go.
Rory, that's Dan Potts'.
I'm beginning a protest.
That's Dan Potts. That's Dan's saying, not Lee's.
Dan,
Did you ever watch the Football Terrence, Dan and LB?
No,
ever watch that? They say it all the time.
Football Terrence? Oh my god!
Look, Dan and LB, you've got to watch them two. They say it all the time, and they say it how it is. They're the two you've got to listen to. LB is one of the best.
You had on the channel set. Remember that as well, bro.
Exactly. He says it how it is. He says it. Dan, he says it. They are the two.
Josh, do you reckon he says it how it is?
Yeah. I mean it. Them two are the best two.
No, to be fair, Napoli are definitely 6 points clear at the top of the league. It's an absolute fact. But remind me, Rory, what did you happen when you Googled that earlier? Was it 1?
Maybe he said they were.
Well, no point have they been. Anyway, Josh has to wrap this up.
But maybe he said they were.
Shout your articles, man.
I'm writing one about the technical director position because Edu's gone, so I'm analysing that this week.
Yes, there we go. Rory, bro, you're back live streaming, right?
Yeah, I will be doing a watch along for the Sporting game tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled for that, and obviously a match reaction.
Oh yeah, I might not be able to do a match reaction because I'm drinking tomorrow, so I'm probably going to miss the game because I'm going to be drunk.
And obviously one last thing.
Watch Dan and LB. Those are the two you've got to watch from the football.
Can I just say, big up Cooper as well, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Coming on today as well. Fantastic, great to have you, bro, and hopefully we can get you on a regular occurrence, man. Obviously, I know the time difference over there. You know, you're over there in the States can be challenging, but yeah. Now, thank you for coming on, man, and it's a pleasure. It was a pleasure to obviously have you on. I tried to redirect it, BX, bro, but it's not letting me redirect for some reason. It's the Bayern View. It's the guy who was just in the chat a minute ago, and I can't even put a link because I'm on my phone. So it's Bayern View on YouTube, man. I'm going on his channel. We're talking about this European show pretty much. So we're gonna go live right now on his one. But yeah, big up yourself as always, man. And yeah, big up everyone who tuned in today, guys. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the support. And yeah, we're back tomorrow, match day, of course. And yeah, as always, big game tomorrow. Come on, you Gunners. Take care, everyone.